As you may remember, I spent a little bit of time in the United Kingdom, and it was always amazing to me to find, those British Empire rifles and shotguns. Not that this is one. This is just a Rook rifle, but you do come across them, or at least you used to, in rural England, probably Scotland, Wales, and so on. Point is, this Tranter's patent, Tranter, it's not easy to see because there's sort of a patina of rust on the whole rifle, but it doesn't matter. The bore is like new. To open the action, you depress here and pull. Oh, I should say, this is important. So it would be nice if this was a rebounding hammer, but it's not a rebounding hammer. So you have to pull the hammer back because the firing pin, see? The firing pin is infringing on, obviously, the primer and the chambers. So when you go to open like this, you're hitting the firing pin. That's not a good thing. Then some people would force this open and break the firing pin. So we don't want to do that. So you just pull it back to this position, push this in, and the action opens. And this was for a Rook cartridge. And I should read to you what it says here. So Manchester, W. Griffiths, number 70 Bridge Street, Manchester. So that would have been a custom gun maker, and it's on a Tranter patent. So that's acknowledged in the frame. Maybe there was a royalty paid to Tranter. I had some really good Tranter revolvers that were quite interesting and well designed. So this is the ammo we're using. For younger shooters, this will be, well, for everybody it'll be interesting if you're interested in guns. So what is this? This has a fancy name, 38 Special Match. And this is not, you don't have to use this in this Rook rifle, but I happen to have it around. So you can see it looks like there's no bullet. That's actually how they're loaded. And that, because it's flush with the case mouth, it's a wad cutter. So when that bullet leaves the case, flies to wherever it's going, it'll cut a nice, clean hole in the target. So you can tell what's what, as opposed to a regular Spitzer bullet. And if you do any kind of shooting from 22 to 460 Weatherby, you'll know you get kind of a non-distinct hole in the paper. But these make a good, clean hole, so you can measure everything, I'm presuming, for target shooting. Anyhow, that's a lot of talking from me. But I have a little more talking to do, and it has to do with the excellent design of this action. So you can see where the hinge pin is. It's further forward. It could be here. But I don't know if you remember or how long you've been with my channel, but the pivot point is really important. And the further far forward, the better. So if you own a Winchester Model 21 shotgun, you'll notice the frame is quite long because that makes the gun stronger. Eventually, if you put the pivot point up here, I'm not saying you wouldn't need locking, but it's pretty hard for the action to open. But there are a whole bunch of principles that work there. Anyway, let's load up a round here. So I'll show you how this whole rig works. So very simple, fits perfectly, close. We're ready to go, except we have to pull the hammer back. So we do that. And we should protect our eyes. So we're going to do that. And, oh, I'm just going to shoot at that gong at very close range, doesn't matter. And the gong is at an angle. Sometimes people write me and say you're going to get ricochet, so it's not at it's not straight on to us, it's at an angle. So the bullets tend to fragment and slide, in this case to the right. So I haven't shot this at this gong, so we'll see. I'll just use the sights and aim right on. Hopefully something happens. Yeah, so I mean, that didn't take much thinking. And then the coolest thing, so now you have to pull the hammer back, half cock, so that we don't break the firing pin. Push this in, it opens, but you'll see nothing's happening. So then you have to push this little lip forward and then take the brass out. And then you're good to go for the next round. And I usually have a pile of ammo sitting next to me, but when you're filming, it's a little bit different. If you can come across these Rook rifles or anything from that era, these types of guns are just not made anymore. Maybe they'll be made again, I don't know, but maybe not. So what I tend to do is I keep those in my hand. Probably you do the same. So we close, pull back. And of course there's, oh, let me lower this. So that's sitting on the primer now, that's not good, we'll hold that back. You can see there's no forend. So some people hold up here, some people back here. I actually don't know what I do because I just do whatever's natural. I guess maybe here. So that's kind of effortless shooting. And then we go half cock and we open the action. So very slow. I'm feeling kind of inspired. So see that faraway target? Let's try that. I have no idea what's going to happen. That's a long way. This is a pistol cartridge and it's a low velocity. So anyway, I'll aim right at it and see what happens. So that's a miss. Let's take another shot. I wasn't sure where that hit, but it's kind of an adventure. I've got 3 more shots. There you go, it only took 2 shots, so that's a good day. So even with this very old, I don't know how old this is, but it's pretty old. So we have to go half cock, open the action, take out the brass. And you can see when this was a new rifle, this would have been beautiful, maybe even color case hardened to steel. All right, well, I wanted to show you this. It's an example. If you see a Rook rifle for sale, and what is a Rook? That's what kind of a United Kingdom crow, as I understand it. And I guess they had problems, you know, with marauding crows, or whatever they were growing. So people used Rook rifles. Anyway, there's even some decent checkering on it. Pretty good rifle and fun to shoot and cheap ammo. I like the pistol cartridges. All right, well, probably enough on that one. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.